right. This is an exciting time to be in because it's a transition time, and you're right. Everything is moving on to the internet, and this presents like an awesome platform for anyone to make content and make money off it. Do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, if you made something, it was heinously expensive to make it for a start. But then when you went to present it to your audience, you had to go through the gatekeepers, and then they would charge you lots of money to access the audience. Now, with the rise of the internet and technology getting cheaper, this camera gear, and you've got lots of people who know how to use it, you effectively can become your own broadcaster because you don't actually have to go through the man anymore to get out to your audience. And not only has your audience size just multiplied exponentially. Like before, it was just, okay, you have New Zealand, and then you have to sell it on and sell it on and sell it on. But now you can actually literally beam your stuff straight to the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, from your house. You and your mate who's a camera operator and your other mate who just graduated from film school. The technology, like your iPhones and stuff are shooting in HD. You can, some things you can edit on your phone. Do you know what I mean? You can produce content and become your own little product. And you can beam it straight to the world. I mean, you see how many people get up for the 48-hour film competition. Heaps. Every single one of those teams, if they could make their own stuff and beam it to the world and not have to go through this and the other thing if they don't want to, you can. And you see multiple examples of that on the internet, YouTube sensations. People who just sit in front of a camera and talk about their favourite movies on a weekly basis end up having these pretty slick little, bites of stuff, and they get to know the computer better, and it looks better, and they get huge followings, and they can monetize that and make a living off that. So yeah, there's a huge opportunity there for actors and creative people to make their own stuff, and especially if you're one of these actors that go, oh well, don't have a commercial kind of look, or I'm not getting the auditions. There's nothing stopping an actor from writing something that he thinks is plays to his strengths, filming it, cutting it, promoting it. All the tools are on the internet. They're all free, or you can get some of your mates who specialise in this stuff to help you. Like, you see how easy it is now to make something and chuck it up for people to see. So it's awesome. The play that I did coming out of drama school was play 203 for Auckland Theatre Company. And like you said, everyone was sort of young and hip. So yeah, there was definitely that some supportiveness and camaraderie, but at the same time as well, there was a unique mix of people who were in drama school and actors who had not trained at drama school, and putting those people together in a room. Like, the actors that have trained speak a specific language that, these certain stage codes or things that we just take for granted that maybe people who haven't trained don't refer to it in those terms. And so there's that really interesting trying to feel each other out, or trying to understand, is what I'm saying what you're saying? Oh yes, then you get on the floor and you realise, what I'm saying is exactly what you're saying. And so, yeah, but there's definitely, I feel in the New Zealand scene, between actors, there's a lot of support. Like, I guess because the industry is just too small to be hating, because there's not that many people really. I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, the only stories I hear coming out of people who have auditioned in LA and stuff is the highly competitive nature of it. And we just have no reference for here because there's just not that many of us, and everyone, and you don't want to be known as the arsehole that's putting people off at auditions, or not being helpful or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a nice thing. Like, for example, John Tui was in Battleship, right? So they auditioned down here for Battleship, so every single Polynesian actor, male, was going for that role, and everyone wanted it, of course. But then when we heard that, our mate John got it, it was like, Troyce Leon was happy for that. That's cool, man. Like, as long as one of us got it, that's cool. That's, I'm not sure if that sort of thing will exist anywhere else, but I know I was certainly fist pumping when I heard that John got it, and that's cool, even though I lost out on the role. But it's like, who cares? Yeah. One of the boys got it, it's all good. And I'm sure that would be the same if it was me or anyone else. So that's the kind of thing I think that's the kind of vibe we have here that I really enjoy. This is what I love about this industry. This industry is the only industry that I know of that every ism is allowed. Racism, noseism, hair, ageism. It's completely allowed in this thing, because if they're looking for a 70 to 80-year-old actor, I'm sorry, but I can't audition. Do you know what I mean? you know, if the role is for a European, I can't be like, oh, where's my audition? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm sorry, but they're only looking for Europeans, or I'm sorry, barling actor, they're looking for Islanders, or, you know, that's you could lose a part or not get a part because maybe your eyebrows are a funny shape, you know, and it just didn't come off right on the screen test, and someone else's eyebrows were perfect, and then they got the right, you know, like, that's the only industry where it's that fickle, and these sorts of things are allowed because it's just the nature of the beast. So, you know, yeah, exactly, yeah, you got to roll with it, and just that's just part of the deal, you know. Like, you're too fat. As a younger actor, I was always about acting being a job, and I just needed a job to pay the bills and whatnot. Whereas now, I think it's really important to like acting as an art form to contribute to society. And like, I think the older I get, sort of the more down I am with this idea that, you know, of art nourishing the soul, that sort of stuff. And so it is really important to nourish the soul through whatever medium. But I'm dedicated myself to the craft of acting, to, you know, to make art to nourish the soul for, you know, other people. So I think it's a very important industry, and I've just gotten to this point in my career where I feel like I need to contribute, and especially in the area of Pacific Island arts or theatre, you know, I go watch shows and I have my own, you know, critical opinion about shows, but what use is that if I'm not going to contribute and evolve the form? And whose responsibility is that if I look at a Pacific Island show and I go, oh yeah, that was okay, could be better? Well, whose responsibility is that to make it better? Sorry, it's my responsibility, you know, like I'm the one that's trained, I'm the one that's, you know, dedicated time and effort to it, so, you know, I can't just sit around and bitch about it. I have to contribute, and that's the thing that I feel like I am where I am now with my career, so I need to contribute to the scene, to the form, to evolve it, you know, like it can't be the same. So, yeah.
Is being a part of Actors Equity a part of that? Just...
Yeah, I mean, being part of equity is like when you become part of a body of other professionals, and we're all doing different things in different areas, whether it be voice or screen, you know, like, but to be together in a collective, because we all know each other's business, and we all, you know, feel each other's pain in sort of areas. I think that's an important part of being a professional. You know, I really do think that, you know, like, and especially to be able to stand together or to look out for each other. I think that's a really important thing, because who else, if we don't look out for our interests, like, whose responsibility is that? Again, it's the same, like, whose role is that to do them? It's ours, you know, like, and we're better off doing that together rather than separately.